PR Connections Radio presents
Since 1978, National Youth Advocate Program has provided cost-effective, community-based services and support to children, youth, and families. To the philosophy we have embraced since our very start, that the primary focus must be holistically placed on preserving and unifying families and strengthening the communities they call home.
All right. Hey, everybody. How are we doing? First of all, happy 4th of July. We are here on the 4th. It's a big day for everybody. Welcome to the Briscoe Bridge of Foster Care in Nevada. I'm your host, Trenton Briscoe. And as always, I am not claiming to be an expert, just someone who cares deeply about the kids. And, remember that some of the things that I said about the Nevada area, it doesn't always line up in other states. So please look into those states and see if those questions can be answered by that state. If you want to reach out to me, I can probably guide you if we have other NIAP employees in that state. But today I'm excited to welcome someone who brings a fresh, powerful perspective to the table, Miss Penny Tindall. Now, Penny is a local Las Vegas entrepreneur, a publisher, and I call her a woman of deep faith. She's not just interested in learning about foster care for herself, but she's also wants to be a voice in the community to spread awareness and inspire others to step into this space. So this episode is about curiosity, compassion, and what happens when someone of influence says, I want to understand, I want to help, and now let's get into it. Penny, how are you? What would you like to tell the audience about yourself that I didn't mention?
Well, hello, and happy 4th of July. This is a great time for us to think about independence and to think about what is so great about, Las Vegas. And for me, as a community outreach partner, I meet local families here in Las Vegas, and I try to build community. And so when I met you, Trenton, I knew we were in the same boat. We really want to talk about families thriving, building community, and being part of something bigger and better. And so, yes, when I heard about foster care, I always wondered, how does that work? So I'm very excited to ask you a few questions, not only maybe from me. I am one of those almost all the kids are out, and I love being a parent. I would love to do something like foster care for sure, but also to be able to be an advocate for foster care families and, helping the children out, because that's what it's all about. So I'm definitely wanting to learn more about the operation and the 1, 2, 3s and the ABCs.
And Penny, one of the things that brought us together was I ended up taking an ad out in your magazine. And that magazine to me is important to be a part of because you're in the community in the Summerlin area, correct?
Yes, I am in Summerlin West, and then we also do a digital component. But the main thing is not only the print publication, but building community, having community events, which me and you have worked together. So I know that you really are wanting to have a better place for the kids and the families. So we're on the same page for sure.
Right. And you have the magazine. What's your magazine called for everybody?
Yes, so I am the publisher for Desert Foothills Living, And it is a Summerlin-based publication. It goes to a little over 3,200 homeowners. And they're all in HOA communities in a lot of areas that have private schools, charter schools, magnet schools over here. But of course, we're looking for families all across the entire valley, right?
But I will tell you though, Penny, 3,200 homes get your magazine. And man, would it be great if just 10 of those 3,200 became a foster home. That would help. Most people get at least 2 kids. So that's 10 children that can come out of Child Haven and have a loving home. It's important, that people understand that you're just one click away, from being a part of that. So if you have that magazine with Penny, please go to look in the pages and you'll see we do have an National Youth Ad Program. And if you have a business, you should jump on that too. Or if you have something that you want to be a part of, just jump on and reach out to Penny. I have to plug Penny as much as possible because Penny to me has been a savior. She knows everybody. She's not afraid to talk to anybody and everybody. And if you want to know somebody, don't worry, just ask Penny. Penny will go get them for you. And
my dad always said, you can always ask. They can say no, but if you don't ask, it's always no. So I learned that at a very young age, and people sometimes would say, well, you're spoiled. I said, no, I'm not afraid to ask for something. And if I get it, fantastic. And if I don't, I'm going to learn how to negotiate and try to make it work. So with our publication, yes, I'm always looking for community partners. A lot of businesses are very transactional. And for me, being a Las Vegas resident since 1989, as long as the city grows, it's still, I feel like a small village. It's still a big town. So I believe that most people care for each other. And I think that the foster care system is something that we need to, help. We need to help these children. Most people, people say kids cost money, but it's not true. I mean, the more kids I had, the more they could play with each other. I didn't have to take them to different places and say, go play with each other, go outside. So I am very curious about the foster care. I know that me and you have had a couple conversations, but like for me as a single parent, I always thought that being a single parent, you cannot foster a kid. Is that correct? Or is that not correct?
It's funny you bring that up because when I was 17 years old, I told people that I was going to foster kids one day. And I never got married and I never got to that point. So I never looked into it until I worked for an agency that I was kind of like a big brother to a bunch of kids that were in foster care. And our agency decided that they were going to open up a department to become a foster agency as well. And I said, hey, I want to help but I still wasn't thinking I could foster because I'm a single guy. And as soon as I started helping, they go, dude, why don't you foster? At the time I had a 6-bedroom house. I was like, I can do that? They're like, yeah, look, man, at the end of the day, yes, we would love to have a husband and a wife, or even it doesn't matter if it's a husband or wife, two parents that are loving
parents.
But at the end of the day, we currently have over 120 children in Child Haven, from what I've been told. I don't want to get in trouble, but that's what I was told. Over 120 children that don't have a home. So how can you turn down a solid citizen who has the heart and love and want to do this, and just because they don't have a husband or wife?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, and any viewers who are listening, absolutely, you can do it when you're single. Now, the catch is you probably should, and we push for this, find what we call a non-primary person in your life that would be kind of considered the babysitter, but they actually have to get their fingerprints and everything, but they're in it for the right reasons and they're good on paper. So if you have that, like Penny, let's say you got into a car accident, God forbid.
Right.
And,
Knock on wood.
right,
Not happening.
I knocked on wood. I knocked on wood for you. And you can't pick up the kids. And who do you have to reach out to? You have to call maybe me or people that work for you.
My sister. Yeah.
And then we have to come grab the kid. But what if we're not available? So it's always good to have that backup. So when I fostered, I had my dad be the backup. My dad would come over. I paid him to like be a nanny in a sense. He didn't do much of that. He just was a warm body. So if something happened and I had to go somewhere, I knew I could leave them with him for a minute. Right. So the idea is, think about people in your life, good friends, family members, whatever, and maybe one of them could be a part of this. Doesn't mean they need to be there every day, and they might love to do it. However, let's say, Penny, let's say you didn't grow up here, and let's say you knew nobody, right? Don't be worried. I will find somebody who wants to foster, right? But let's say they have someone that lives in their house that can't foster, right? Because maybe their husband or wife, they can't pass a background check. Right. So what I do is when I meet those people and I feel their heart, they really want to be a part of helping foster children, I tell them, hey, why don't you be a non-primary for one of my homes? Why don't you come to one of our get-togethers and you can meet all the foster parents and see who clicks with you. And maybe then you could now still live your dream through someone else's home. Or you divorce your husband or wife. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's pretty amazing. That's something that I definitely would think about because, a lot of times, there are a lot of folks that, maybe they feel like they're too old, but they want to be able to spend time. I mean, my children know that I've always loved seniors. So they are used to, hanging out and with senior people. And those folks might not want to be a foster parent, but they can do valuable lessons and they can give their heart. So definitely something to think about. I'm definitely excited about that. Now, I like that you said that you provide support. So let's just say that I believe I want to do it. Are there classes? Is there training? So the person that's going to become a foster parent kind of has an idea of the system and the procedures, because that part is usually where the scary part is, the part you don't know about, right?
Yeah, for sure. And before I move on with that, I was going to throw in another idea. People also can be a respite. So for example, Penny, you could go through the process, become a foster home, and only take kids the times that you want to take them. For example, if I had a home of 3 children and you had a home that could take 3 children, and I have to go to Los Angeles for the weekend for a business, I can't take them with me. I ask you to watch them for the weekend. And what's cool about doing that with foster children in foster care is they usually have fun with you for the weekend. They're usually not, like if they're with you long term, you might have a little more, you got to put up with. But they usually are really, they put on the show for the first time they're with you or the first minute. So
just like with grandma.
Yeah, respite's
with grandma, auntie, or whatever, they always are nicer.
Yeah, so respite's always a good idea too.
Respite.
But jumping into your question was, is there training and all that stuff? Okay, so what happens is when you first come in and we get the application filled out and we see from what we can tell that you're going to be able to move forward, you have to go down and get your fingerprints done right away. But during the time that your fingerprints are getting looked at, it takes months for that. You have to start a training. There's multiple trainings. There's one, this is Nevada. There's a Pride training. It's about 9 weeks. It's 9 courses, I should say.
Okay.
We can combine them down into one long day, like a full Sunday for each one. So it just varies, right? So you have a training you have to do through Pride. You have another training, a couple other trainings. There's another one and here in Nevada with us, They are online. There's never really a time that we have to have you at our office, except for our day one training. We want to see if you show up to that. Day one training is at our office. We want you to show that you want to be there, and we want to feel what you have to say and feel like, you know what, this is going to be a good fit. And we know you're in it to win it, right?
In it to win it.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. This is serious thing. So I love that. So my question is, you had mentioned that you have fostered many children. Do most people get one, or are there more siblings or, relatives, cousins or whatever? Like, can I say, I only want girls because I've only had girls and I have girl stuff? Or do I just say I want this certain age? Or maybe is there videos? I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious, like, how would I?
So what I always tell my parents is this: it's your house. You get to pick what you want. That doesn't mean you get to pick, I want the blonde hair, blue eye girls. No. Mm-hmm. But you can say, I want, girls only, ages 4 to 12.
Okay.
Ages 4 to 6. You can say this and it will go on your license. But here's the thing. You might be limited on kids ages 4 to 6, right? And you're sitting there waiting. And then all of a sudden we find a 4-year-old and its brother is 7. And we really need someone. Now you're like, well, wait a minute. I said I wanted only girls 4 to 6. Now we have to jump through hoops to get your license changed so that you can take that 6-year-old. So what I always say to everybody is this: I wouldn't limit yourself. I would say ages 4 to 18. Hear me out. People are, I don't want a teenager. I promise you, some of these teenagers are going to be way better than the little ones. The little ones are traumatized and need extra love, right? The older ones need extra love, but you can talk to them. That you can help them understand. And if you play it right, they'll be there for you. But the biggest part is this. Let's say there's a sibling group, ages 4, 9, and 17, right? And you're like, oh, I don't want to take them because they have a teenager. Well, guess what? It just so happens that teenager is amazing. She's been mom to those 2 kids all of her life. So really, she's not a bad kid. And it's probably going to help you have a better time with the little ones because the other mom that's been their mom will be there. So I would never, ever put an age limit. I would say play it by ear. Now, I will say, if you're a male and you're all by yourself, and I would say you probably should stick to only boys. Okay. Just because the system, I worry about that. But as a female, I would say keep your mind, keep it open. Now that doesn't mean, go ahead.
No, I totally get it because I always say girls, but I have gone, and met kids and I'm like, wow, maybe I should have had a boy, because they have a totally different mindset. They're a little bit more inquisitive at certain ages, but every kid is unique. Like I said, for anything in life, I might go in and expect to buy a purple shirt and then I gravitate to a red shirt. And a lot of times your heartstrings can be pulled by so many different things, hearing the story, or like you said, a brother-sister combo. So I think that you're right. You need to have your heart open, and with your heart open, you need to have your eyes open, not to limit your faith or whatever. And because everybody in this situation needs love. So I think that's the biggest thing, is to feel like you can give that love to them and remember that they're going to give it back. You know what I mean? It's a two-way street, right? So it's really exciting.
And I think this is also what I often say too, and I make sure I say it to the right people, but I think you would understand this. God is going to give you who you're supposed to get. I mean, that's how I look at it. And if you don't believe in that stuff, that's totally fine too. Then you're going to get what you're meant to get. What is that saying? He only gives you what you can handle.
Right. That's true. And a lot of times you don't. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. And I really like that. So is Nevada a lot stricter in the foster care community? Because it seems like Nevada is more strict than other areas in the nation.
In what way are you meaning strict?
Well, I mean, I feel like you are doing a lot of training, and you said the fingerprints take months to get back. Um, so we're making sure that the families are trustworthy. So I love that to learn about that. But I guess I didn't know it would take, months to get, a foster kid or a family.
Well, the reason why things take a while, there's a couple factors, right? Let's say there's 25 homes being put in at the same time. So the team has to go through those, and it might slow down the process. If you have a hiccup on your application, for example, if you say I've been arrested, but you weren't convicted, because you have to say if you've been arrested, even if you weren't convicted, it has to go on there. If you say I was arrested, or if you don't say you were arrested, I should say, then they will see that you were arrested, and now that'll red flag you, and it'll slow down your process. And then you have to jump through hoops, and then they question you because they expect you to be honest with everything on there. And sometimes, if you were arrested when you were 19 years old and you weren't convicted, but it still shows as an arrest on your record.
Yeah, so you want to be transparent, because the whole point is they are giving you, a wonderful child, and they're just being super cautious, because we want to put them in a good home. We don't want to put them from one home to another. We want a stable place, it sounds like, right?
Right.
So yeah, you're not the bad guys. You're there doing the right thing. So I was just thinking about this. So I know you do events to find families, and that's one reason why you did the ad. But I think you're doing some fun events. I think at the farm, are you doing events to kind of be part of the community outreach? It sounds like you're doing some fun events for where you would find families with kids.
Yeah, so we've been doing some McKee Ranch Foundation on Friday. It's like every other Friday I've been over there. But today's the 4th of July, so I think we might have one the next Friday, and then of course they don't do it much more because the weather change and the season change.
Oh.
So they do mainly in the summertime.
Okay.
But we do, Penny, we should point out that we do a little mixer for businesses, but that doesn't mean you can't come and talk about foster care. But that's the Knights of the Round Table. Penny is also one of the hosts of the Knights of the Round Table, and we do a monthly mixer somewhere in town, and we invite everyone, especially obviously business owners, to help us get the word out about NIAP and help us find more homes. So we do that. We also have done a great, I want to say we're going to do some more. It's called You're a Star. The idea, it was a great concept. We didn't have a whole lot of kids, but I'm hoping that the more we at NIAP build our homes, eventually all of our children will be coming to this, and more, and other kids as well. But You're a Star. I don't know, Penny, you want to give them your perspective of how You're a Star happens?
So I love the concept of You're a Star, and for that, we want to bring families in there. We want to see the kids engage. We're not just inviting, foster kids. We're inviting families to, build community. The whole point is it's a community outreach. A lot of times people don't know. Maybe somebody is thinking about adoption. Well, maybe they should try foster care. They might find the kid in foster care, and it would be a win-win. So I feel like the community events that we do, and with Knights of the Round Table, that's basically businesses that are thinking about the community, that are trying to build community, and we bring in nonprofits, and we advocate to make a better Vegas. I mean, that's what the Knights of the Round Table, that was your concept, and I jumped on it because Number one, cool name. But number two, it just makes sense. You get a round table, you kind of brainstorm. You never know who you're going to meet. Yes, they're mostly business owners and entrepreneurs, but they're also family members, grandmothers, parents. And I think we've actually had a few people that we found out were foster kids and aged out. And so, and a lot of adopted, a lot of people are adopted. So the whole point is we're all in this world together, right? And why not collaborate and help each other out? And I think that's what the Knights of the Round Table is. And you just never know who you're going to meet. And if it's a good fit to be a foster parent, that would be a win-win.
The saying has always been brought up all my life. It takes a village. It really truly takes a village. We need the community to help us. Even if you're in a business and you want to promote my company to help get us foster homes, then you're doing something for us. Maybe you can't foster. You want to, but you can't. Like, for example, I was brought on a really, really great show, a podcast, with the problem solver, Dave.
Oh, yes, Dave.
They brought me on the podcast because they wanted to solve the problem of foster care. We have 120 plus kids in Child Haven. Child Haven is a bunch of bungalows, and I think the capacity is only 80. So it's overflowing with kids. Majority of them are under 9 years old. That's not the way you want kids to grow up. They need a loving family. They need to be in the community doing extra things and all that. So NIAP is completely coming into town, going all out. The National Youth Advocate Program, they're here to stay, and they mean business. And I'm so proud to be a part of their program. And I'm glad that I met Penny along the way, and Penny has been able to come in and push us out there to the community. And here we are. So, Penny, do you have any last words before I sign off?
Yes. Well, I mean, we have an event coming up. We have a Knights of the Round Table. Generally, it's on the west side, but next week we're having it in Henderson, of course, right? Yeah. You've got a great restaurant sponsor that you met with. It's a Mexican restaurant, correct?
No, they're actually.
No, it's a Hawaiian.
Hawaiian, yes, Hawaiian influence. It was great food. Ona is the owner. He's an awesome guy. Really excited to be there for that day. So, and he's excited as well. I keep getting text messages from him and everything.
Yes, and you know what? That culture is very family oriented. Hawaii is very family oriented. I mean, you're Italian, I'm Greek. I mean, we believe that it takes a village to raise a child, but you do need to have a solid place for that child to feel comfortable and safe, because once they feel comfortable and safe, there's going to be less trouble. Usually there's trouble because they're uncomfortable. Right. But all I have to say is, yes, the Knights of the Round Table, it's next week, Thursday. It's a free event. And
it's not next week because today's July 4th.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah. So we don't even know. So this is
our next one. Our next one is this. It's in July. It's coming up. Okay. We don't have a specific date and place yet. But be on the lookout. Follow Penny or myself on Instagram or Facebook. You can reach out to us, and we will let you know where it is. But if you went to our last one at the beach house.
The beach house, that's it. And you know what? Yes, so sorry. Summerlin Publisher is my Instagram. Penny Tindall on Facebook, or Desert Foothills Living is my Facebook for my magazine. We are going to have something every month with Knights of the Round Table. So if you are a community-minded business, you want to be part of Las Vegas growing power structure, then make sure you reach out to Trenton or myself. Come join the fun. And you know what? Go on his website. Check out foster care. I'm going to check out a few of the different things that he said. maybe foster care is the step that you can do. But if you're thinking of maybe adopting, maybe try foster care and see if it's a good fit for you.
Just so you know, you keep bringing up the adoption thing. Well, here in Nevada, you cannot adopt until you foster for 6 months. So you do have to foster first anyway. So just come in and do it. And also, just so everybody knows, I try to mention this every episode. I forgot last episode. Every Thursday, we do a informational brunch at Union Biscuit on the south side of town behind IKEA. Please come out. Brunch is on me. Ask me questions. We want you there to learn and break bread together and see if you want to be a part of this team. And if you want to come because you just want to help some way, shape, or form, come on out. Also, hopefully, the whole month of July, I'm going to start a hiking. I'm trying to get everybody to just be a part of a hiking group.
120 degrees hiking.
Yeah, I'm doing it early in the morning. Don't worry.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to get together at a pool, local pool here in town, just to relax. We all need to relax and know that I'm the one trying to promote, health and happiness and joy and living your life to the fullest and helping kids. So Penny, thank you for showing up today. I know you were kind of a fill-in and I know we were going to have you on the next one, but you moved up quickly. I appreciate you. You came in with an open heart, an open mind. You're proof that, you don't have to be in the system to care. And just having you being willing to learn, to listen and lead by example, I appreciate that. To everyone out there listening, this journey isn't just about foster care. It's about community. And it's about people like Penny using their platforms, their faith, their voice to just lift up kids and families. We go unseen. So thank you, Penny. Whether you're ready to foster, mentor, or simply spread the word, you're a part of the bridge. And that's what this show's about. So thanks for joining me. The Briscoe Bridge to Foster Care in Nevada. Until next time, stay kind. I always do this. Hold on. Stay kind, stay open, and keep showing up for someone who needs you. Thank you so much, Penny. Appreciate you. And happy 4th of July, everybody. Now I'm going to go hug my dogs because I don't go out on the 4th. I got to stay with my pups. Never go out because my dogs are
You're a good dad.
Yeah, I have to do it. I can't. I feel so bad for them. All right, Penny. We'll see you soon. Take care, and everybody have a good 4th.
Bye-bye for now.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.